Thoughts on the readings for April 16th, Numbers 35, Proverbs 26, John 8. Numbers 35 verses 1 to 8 tells of the cities of the Levites, who were scattered throughout the Promised Land so that all of the people of God were to have access to instruction in the word of the Lord when the written word was in short supply. Verses 9 to 34 outline the cities of refuge, which were appointed on both sides of the river Jordan. 6 cities were appointed, 3 on each side of the river. These cities were to protect the man who had committed manslaughter. The person who inadvertently killed another was protected against the avenger of blood, who would seek to avenge the death of his relative. If the innocent slayer entered the gates of one of the cities of refuge, he was under protection through the law until the circumstances of the slaying had been investigated. If, however, the fugitive left the city, he was no longer protected. The term for the fugitive's protection was until the death of the high priest. Upon that decease, the fugitive was free to leave his refuge. We too have been guilty of blood, as we are all sinners. We too must remain within the household of our Lord Jesus Christ. There are many similarities to the observance of the Passover. The Israelites were to remain in the houses, whose lintels and doorposts had been sprinkled with the blood of the Lamb. However, we can never leave our place of refuge, for our high priest lives forever. Hebrews 7 verses 22 to 28, 13 verses 10 to 15. If the 6 cities were insufficient, a further allowance was made for additional places for refuge. Proverbs 26 speaks of the depths to which the foolish and lazy sink and the troubles that they bring upon themselves and everyone else who comes into contact with them. Verses 1 to 12 shows that the fool never learns and that no matter how you try to reason with the fool, you cannot succeed. While verses 4 to 5 seem contradictory, they are not. They simply establish the theme of this section, that to attempt to reason with a fool is an impossibility. Verse 11 is quoted by the Apostle Peter in reference to the foolishness of any who turn their back upon God and forsake His ways. See 2 Peter 2 verses 21 to 22. Verses 13 to 16 outline Proverbs about slothfulness. Verses 17 to 19 speak of the ills brought by the foolish self-centered jester. Verses 20 to 26 tells of the damage done through foolish gossip and dangerous liars. Verse 22 counsels us to refuse to listen to malicious gossip. See Ephesians 4 verses 29 to 32. Carefully contemplate the message of these verses to each one of us. Verses 27 to 28 of Proverbs 26 reminds us of the great eternal truth that we reap what we have sown. Some versions of John 8 omits the earlier verses. There can be little doubt that they should be included in the record. A woman was brought to the Lord caught in the very act of adultery. Where was the man? It was a setup designed to trap Jesus. The law of Moses made it very clear that adultery was punishable by stoning. As they persist in goading Jesus, he said, "Let the one without sin cast the first stone." And he stoops down and writes on the earth. Most likely he wrote their names in fulfillment of Jeremiah 17 verse 13. One by one they left, beginning at the eldest. Finally, the woman was left alone with the Lord, and although he condemned her not, she was told to go and sin no more. A discussion follows about Jesus being the light of the world, one of the many messianic titles that John used. This led on to a discussion regarding origins. Our Lord was from God, they were murderous liars and in no way children of Abraham. Only truth could set them free. Finally, Jesus astounds them with a claim for him to be the entire focus of God's purpose. Abraham understood this and rejoiced in that knowledge.